The blame game still rages over vaccines.
Anthony Albanese are trying to blame this lockdown on your government.
They blame the media, they blame everybody.
The Prime Minister gets the blame.
He's blaming the federal government for vaccinations.
First, there was a blame game between the federal government and the states.
Anthony Albanese blamed the Prime Minister's government.
After refusing to take blame for months.
They would try and blame coronavirus.
And they try and blame it on Scott Morrison.
And he says, what can we do to help? Let's not do the blame game.
There's a lot of blame going around. And with Sydney in lockdown, Australia's biggest city, it's only going to get worse. But have you noticed? There's all these people being thrown under the bus. Gladys Berejiklian, Brendan Murphy, Chief Health Officer, Greg Hunt even. ScoMo is throwing his own people under the bus. Everybody's getting the blame. The one person whose fault this really is, where the buck should actually stop. As the Twitter star Ronnie Salt pointed out, is painting himself as the saviour, riding to the rescue while throwing people under the bus. And that's because the way that politics works is the Prime Minister's office is a very large one, full of dirty tricks people and black ops people who concoct political narratives. And they say, who are we going to throw under the bus today? Gladys, for dithering on lockdown. Brendan Murphy, Chief Health Officer. Itagi, the scientific group presiding over vaccines. Everybody's fault except the Prime Minister, who has ultimate control. Even Sky News, even the maddies, the far-right pundits on Sky News have now turned on Morrison.
And, who else do you blame? The government is the government, the Prime Minister is there. His efforts to try and get a particular vaccine that we could manufacture here and be ahead of the wave, ahead of the rest of the world, has failed. And maybe some of the heat will come off the Prime Minister, but who else do you blame?
Where will it all end? We think Australia is probably in a very dangerous place at the moment, because the only political solution to this COVID problem, the fact that the vaccine rollout is just too damn slow, is to create a bigger enemy, to have a diversion, a monumental diversion. And we think we know what that is because they've been building this for some time, and it's China. The latest is that a government-funded think tank, which is also funded by Raytheon and various weapons manufacturers, foreign multinationals, it's called ASPI. They tweeted the other day this headline: China threatens Australia with missile attack. This public claim from a government-funded think tank that pontificates on foreign policy. The think tank whose members, some of them are journalists and sort of academics and political types. ASPI, beating the drums of war, creating an enemy in China. That is the danger that Australia faces. The Prime Minister is cornered. He will not accept blame. He does not hold the hose of blame. He's acting like a child. He was clearly guilty, blaming everybody else, saying that he didn't do it.
Did you poop your pants?
No, Winnie.
Winnie pooped your pants?
Mm-hmm.
Oh, Winston, you pooped your pants?
All the evidence points to one person, the failure of the vaccine rollout, but he's blaming everybody else. He's had 18 months to get hotel quarantine right, to get, in fact, quarantine right, a federal responsibility. He's had since last June to tee up the vaccines, to get a nice suite of different vaccines to offlay the risk. 40 million Pfizer doses, as revealed by Callum Foote in our publication. They turned that down, and seeding stories with his Black Ops team into every media publication that he can to muddy the waters, to create the idea that he is the white knight riding to the rescue when everybody else is to blame.